after that, what you do is you ascertain the correct address to send the application to. You enclose your passport photographs. Now the 4 passport photographs, 2 of these will have signatures on. One will have yours, the other will have the character signatory. The other 2 you can leave blank. What's the reason for 4 photographs? Right, well, one's going on your shotgun certificate, and the other 3 are for police records. And one of those 3 can be used for a European firearms pass, okay, and that leaves 2, and the other 2 probably get stuffed in the archive somewhere, and a spare in case they lose it. So you enclose your photographs, you get the address, which you just mentioned. You can find that out on your local constabulary's website or local police station, and then you need to enclose payment. You can use postage. You can use a postal order, which is what I did, or you can use a cheque. And the price is currently £50, and that £50 fee will get you 5-year shotgun certificate. Now, one of the few things that's come of age is it used to be 3 years for shotgun certificate. Now it's 5 years, which it has been since 1994. So you get 5 years on that one. Now, once you've bundled off your application, time will pass. It will not come straight away that you get feedback from the police. What will happen is you will get letters sent to you from your local firearms chief of police, for want of a better word, and he will basically say, yeah, we've received your application, we're processing it, as in we're checking you're not flipping criminal, and we'll get back to you. I actually got 2 letters. They sent me 2 for some reason. One was a duplicate of the other one, but there you go. And after about the 2.5 week, I got my first response, which is basically saying we're checking it. And then what happened was you get a telephone call, assuming you've given them the right telephone number. Otherwise, you won't be getting any phone call or any interview probably. So you get your phone call, and that will be from your friendly visiting officer, who basically does the rounds and goes around checking people's houses for firearms storage when there's a renewal coming up. Now, I got lucky because about the time it was a big renewal phase when I was applying for mine, so I managed to get in on that without having to wait very long. But normally it should be about a month to 2 months before you get your visit. Normally a month. I think I got mine within 4 weeks actually, which is almost a record. Anyway, so I'll give you a call and say blah blah blah. When's a good time? And you say such and such a date. And or he may just turn around and say, can I come round within the next hour? Which of course you say, of course you can, if you're in the house and you've got a good time. And then once this is done, you have the interview. Now, the interview for having your shotgun certificate application, it's not that bad, guys. I mean, I won't lie to you, I was a little bit apprehensive because, let's face it, you're taking in a complete stranger into your household who's going to come up and basically have a look at your security storage facilities and basically say either, yes, I'm going to let you have a shotgun certificate, or no, I'm not going to let you have a shotgun certificate, or no, I'm not going to recommend you have a shotgun certificate. So obviously, you've gone to a lot of trouble by this point. You've possibly listened to all my videos on this, you've gone out and made passport photographs, you've gone out and got counter signatories to sign it, you've gone out and got, obviously, more importantly, you've paid out good money for a gun cabinet and you've installed it, and now it comes to the crucial linchpin of them basically having the power to say, yes, you can own a gun, or no, you can't. Now, assuming if you've done the right thing with all what I've said and followed as best you can the application process, you shouldn't have too much problem getting past this interview. Now, what it'll do is it'll come around and it'll be I'm not saying they're all the same, everyone's different. However, the policemen are generally neutral, very hard neutral types, I consider them. And basically, if you're straight with them, they'll be straight with you. If you start giving them bluffy, bullshitty answers, trying to be the smart aleck, try and be arrogant, try and be schmoozy and cozy up to them, I'll tell you now, in my opinion and from my experience, it's not going to go down well. So if you're just straight with them, give fair answers, I don't think there'll be any problems. So what'll happen is come round and he may poke. He won't like start rummaging through drawers and cupboards. I mean, you know, you need a search warrant to do that anyway. Although to a certain extent, there's a grey area because he's checking your security facilities where you got the gun going to be. So what he'll do is come in. You might say hello to someone who else is in the house and might not. And basically he'll say where you're going to store the weapon, where you're going to store your shotgun. If we grant you the application, basically show him where it is. First thing he'll do is he'll take a look at it. Now, if assuming it's police approved, substantial gun cabinet, he'll give it a shake. He'll check it's securely fixed. Now, he's not going to start smacking it with a sledgehammer or booting it or anything like that. He'll just give it a shake, which is substantial enough to check that it's anchored in. After he's done that, he'll open it up and have a look inside. Basically see how many guns you can fit in it. And he'll be going through all his... He'll have his own clipboard with his own questions he'll ask you, and they're pretty generic ones. Off memory, what he'll ask you is, why do you want one? Have you ever handled firearms before? What gave you the idea to want to get into owning a shotgun? Where you're going to be using it, if you're going to be using it, which we should be using it because I'm not completely sure if they let you have it for collecting. Yes, you can theoretically own one for collector's use, but again, I wouldn't like to put that to the test, just on the sole use for collector's item. Now, after asking you those questions, you might want to chew the fat with you. You might not. He might be a busy man. With me, it wasn't too bad because anyone who's ex-military will have a better chance than someone who's not ex-military, in my opinion. It's not going to be like a massive bonus point, like, you know, you're going to get flipping away with blue murder, what you've put in the application form. But if they know you've handled weapons before, you'll have better bonus points for the application process. But if you know you're new to the game and if you're new to wanting to own a shotgun, and you know you're keen to get into the sport of owning a shotgun, because believe you me, there is a massive sport out there for shotgun ownership. And if you mention this, they'll like you for that, because it will mean that you are going into something that is good for shotgunning, as opposed to, oh, I'm just going to sort of own it and, you know, blast it off on my mate's land. I mean, you can do that, you can say that, but in my opinion, owning a shotgun, clay pigeon shooting, practical shotgun shooting, target shooting is a very reassuring thing to hear from a from a policeman's point of view, than I'm going to own it and shoot pigeons with it flipping in my backyard. So that's the interview, and what I'll do at the end of the interview is I'll say, okay, you'll be hearing from us soon, and hopefully he'll be saying I'll be approving your shotgun certificate. If he doesn't say that, don't despair, it might just mean. Anyway, and that's your interview done and dusted. After this interview, hopefully, after about a couple of weeks, you'll get one of these with your shotgun application.